Hello, everyone. A very good evening to you all, and welcome to another edition of UBI Open Mic. My association with UBI goes back to, last 4 years. I've been associated with UBI in a very, very special way. I have a deep relationship with UBI, with Sapna. She's a wonderful person who has created this great platform for poets from all over the world. And it's amazing working with her. It's amazing participating with her. Thank you so much, Sapna, for this opportunity for hosting the show. I would begin with saying a few lines about poetry, since this is a poetry session. Poetry is not just a this or that thing. Poetry isn't a jobless man's fling. Poetry is your mother's food. Poetry is your grandma's mood. Poetry is your father's old slippers. Poetry is your old love letters. Poetry is walking in the rain. Poetry is the crossroad of joy and pain.
Very true.
So let's hear it from some of the finest poets today, starting with Dr. Sujatha Chatterjee. She is a medical doctor trained at Tata Memorial Hospital and has 4 published books to her credit. She's also been part of editing one of the books, and she contributes regularly to Women's Era magazine. She contributes to the newspaper in Kolkata, Hello Kolkata. She says hello to the entire Kolkata. She's an award-winning poet. She has that innate, gifted love for literature. So please welcome Dr. Sujatha Chatterjee, and I would invite her to recite her beautiful poem.
Thank you very much, Shalini ji. Is it Shalini?
Yes.
Yes, Shalini ji, for giving me such a vivid introduction and such a lovely introduction for me. And I would really thank you, Sapna ji, and also Sham Sundar ji for giving me a chance to portray my poems in this forum. And today I would like to recite from my new book, The Wind Chimes. This is my new book.
Wow. Congratulations.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. This book is going to be launched on 9th of August and in Lions Den, conducted by the Lions Club of Kolkata Magnets. So I would like to read out a few poems. Can I read more than one?
Yes, if it's, yeah, yes.
If time permits, yeah. So I would like to read at least 2 poems from this book, and I would like to reach out to all of you. And these poems are basically award-winning poems. So
Beautiful.
Hope you'll like them. And my first poem which I'm going to read is The Secret of My Pen. This is about a little girl who was very ugly to look at, an ugly duckling rather. So she was not befriended by anybody. Her parents despised her, her relatives despised her. So in her frustration, she started writing poems. And after a few years, these poems were published under a pen name. And there was a lot of hue and cry about it, and everybody started worshipping the little pen, the pen name of the little girl. Nobody knew it was her. So even her parents started comparing her with the poet, And finally, she let go all her misgivings, and she said that let them let it be what it is as usual, because I am the person who is writing my feelings on a piece of paper.
Wonderful.
So the secret of my pen. Once upon, this is an award-winning poem from Miraki. You know Miraki site?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, from
I'm
there.
familiar. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So this poem has won an award over there,
beautiful.
and yeah. Once upon a time, I had a silver pen. With it, I wrote many verses in vain. I never thought these poeses would ever be engraved in the papyrus of pain. I would scribble furiously on diaries. I would pour my troubles in the blue ink. I would always read and reread them until my hands were sore and pink. My vocabulary would be replenished, penning paragraphs that pricked like a thorn. Oh, I wrote sometimes with a fierce fire. I cursed the day that I was born. I was born with a dark, sallow skin. My family would turn away their faces. My nose was flat, eyes small, and lips thick. My teeth were uneven on braces. I was small in height like a pygmy, no proper shape, curves, or pose. Moreover, I was an unlucky girl child. Everyone turned away their nose. I had no right to luxuries or delicacies. I was detested and despised by friends. I was banished to a cold, dark, dingy room. The intense dislike and hatred had no ends. Soon I grew up with the loathing. I retreated in a disarray and shame. But my pain was a sword in, but my pen was a sword in disguise, which carried on its nib my name. The fiery words that I penned down soon found its way to the print. I wrote under a pen name whom nobody knew. Nobody had any clue or a hint. Her name was popular within friends. My family compared me to her. I then forgave everyone for their sins. It's divine to forget who did err. Thank you.
Oh, your rendition brings out the truth very powerfully to each one, and it just hits us, you know. I mean, the whole truth of it is
It's yeah, actually, it just imagine a child like this going through trauma day after day,
yes,
years after years, and then she brings her frustrations on a piece of paper, and she gains a confidence of people once she is well known. But she never did disclose her name. She only wrote under a pen name, and her parents and her all her friends started praising the pen name, but never knowing that it was her. It's very sad.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, the sad truth. Yeah.
Okay, my second poem is just the opposite of this poem. This is about a girl who is a beautiful girl, and a boy is writing this. How she looks. You know, there was one of these songs in Hindi, "Ek ladki ko dekha, to aisa laga." So something like that, where a boy is singing praises of a girl. dream girl. She's the fairy of Wonderland, the princess of my dreams. She's the starlight of the night and the moonbeams. She's the notes of the music, the lyrics of the poem. She's the xylem of the plants and its phloem. She's the blossoms of a tree, the veins on the leaf. She's the beating of my heart and my soul so deep. She's the fire of my passion and the emotion of my love. She's the softness of the sill and the blessings from above. A temple bell that chimes every hour of the day. She's the glow of the lamp that flickers when the wind sways. She's the flame of the candle, the wax that melts in warmth and fresh like the lily after every bath. She's like the fragrance of sandalwood, the scent of the rose. She's the aroma of the jasmine that tingles the nerves of the nose. Like the pine tree that in winter collects the snowflakes, and like the cool zephyr that creates the ripple in the lake. Her complexion is like the gold of the sun in the early dawn. She's the dewy, lush green grass of the lawn. Her hair is the cascade of waterfall from the high hill. She's the spark of the sunlight that glints at my windowsill. She is the rainbow formed by the rain and gleaming sun rays. She is like the backwater of the seas and the bays. She is the tunes of the flute played by the band and the green oasis in the coarse desert sand. My heart does worship her. She is the angel of my dreams. She cools my brow with the water of the gurgling streams. I steal a glance at her when she gives her radiant smiles. She puts my tired feet to rest when I have walked for many miles. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sujatha, for sharing such beautifully expressed poems, and also the way you recite them adds more life to those words, adds more liveliness and more meaning to those words. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I would really love to hear what others have to say
Yes.
about their poems.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sujatha. Yes. Now we talk about Shreya. Shreya is a law student, and she actually manages UBI's content. She contributes a lot in that space. So please look out and do read the content that she manages on UBI. There's some amazing stuff out there. She is very passionate about writing poetry. The craft is very much a part of who she is. So please welcome Shreya with her rendition. He finds a true voice through poetry. Shreya.
Shalini, one thing I just wanted to tell everybody, that if you are interested in ordering the wind chimes, it is available in Amazon.in, and you just go and write there wind chimes by Dr. Sujatha Chatterjee, and you'll get the book.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Shreya, the floor is open to you.
Thank you so much, Harini ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. And Sujatha ma'am, you are wonderful. I loved your poems. Actually, I had tears in my eyes while you were reciting your first poem. So they were amazing. And I would like to thank UBI because it's right now, it's a very huge part of my life. As Shalini ma'am said, I'm contributing for the content. And this is the second time that I'm performing my poetries here. So it's been a great pleasure with UBI. So I'll talk about my first poem. I recently read a quote on Instagram that said, "What am I if not literature and poems?" So, and I think that absolutely I connect to it because I'm everything about literature, books, and poems. And I'm a bibliophile. I love collecting books. I'm at peace when my bookshelf is filled with books. So, while I read my books, while I'm reading, they take me to a different land, a land which I feel like it's only mine. So, my first poem is describing that fictional land, and the title is Unknown Land. That's where they draw me, a scene you and I can't reach. That is where they draw me, a scene you and I can't reach, wired in my mind peacefully, apart from everyone and each. A whole different realm it is, not the usual pain and grief there. A whole different realm it is, not the usual pain and grief there. They leave my body and take my soul because I let them carry me anywhere. I can see no flesh and bones. It's a land of only minds and hearts. I can see no flesh and bones. It's a land of only minds and hearts. Here, the love is bitter and pain is sweet. Nerds are stupid and the dumb ones are smart. It's a feeling I can't illustrate, an emotion you won't understand. It's a feeling I can't illustrate, a emotion you won't understand, a world made only for me. It's my love for an unknown land. It's my love for an unknown land. Thank you.
Wonderful, Shreya. I wish you that you are able to create that unknown land, because it is in everybody's power to create, to be able to envision and create the land that is unknown till now.
Yes, so true, ma'am. So true. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be moving to my second poem. The second poem is about love. I think love is a feeling that each and every human being at least experience once in their lifetime. Some are lucky enough to be loved back, some are not. And my second poem is about the second emotion, where you want a person but you can't have them. So the title goes, Just Exist in My Rhymes. I knew it would hurt, but I still fell for you. I knew it would hurt, but I still fell for you. My conflicted heart told me to never make a move. You're miles away from me, still your presence lingers by. You are miles away from me, still your presence lingers by. I want your hand in mine, I know I expect too high. My heart beats differently with you I'm talking to. My heart beats differently when it's you I'm talking to. I'm gone too far already. I was damned, I knew. For every quote I read, I picture you in my head. For every quote I read, I picture you in my head. And for every song I listen to, I wish to dance with you instead. Sitting under the night sky with you sounds like a dream to me. Sitting under the night sky with you sounds like a dream to me. Sorry, sometimes I just forget you and I can never be we. This feeling won't last forever, but it still hurts 100 times. This feeling won't last forever, but it still hurts 100 times. And when this all will be over, you will just exist in my rhymes. And when this all will be over, you will just exist in my rhymes.
It's beautiful, very heartfelt.
Yes.
And
Beautiful, Shreya. I loved it.
Thank
Very
you.
emotional. Very
Yes, very
emotional.
emotional. Actually, we could visualize the girl's pain. We could feel the girl's pain. So it's very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But sometimes, if that some kind of love exists in rhyme, that also is a very beautiful way to connect.
Yes.
Very true.
You're still connected. The connection is what matters. I think we love in very different, zillion ways.
Yes.
And I
That's so
think being
true.
connected somehow is the most beautiful part of a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shreya, for sharing
Thank you, ma'am.
deep ones. We now have Suman, ma'am. She's a much loved fine arts teacher who gives her heart and soul to writing for children. She writes poems and skits for kids. She has been a teacher since 1975 in the beautiful, beautiful place of Kulu. You know the relationship Kulu and Manali, so you can imagine the kind of scenic place which can inspire poetry from her all the time, I believe. And she's, we expect to see that same twinkle in her eyes when she recites her poem from her collection. Please welcome Suman, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks, dear friend. Your love gives pleasure no end.
Beautiful.
So, good evening, everyone. My poem is about nature because I live in a village and surrounded by hills, surrounded by these hills are with the snow at the top and greenery all around because we have an orchard here. So I am only 77 years young teacher.
Beautiful, beautiful. Give a big hand to Suman, ma'am. You're
So
charming, really charming.
thank you, dear. I enjoy all this, and kids motivate me. You see their laughter and their how they come and hug me. It gives me, a big high. I would say that.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So the
You're
title of
very inspiring.
yes, I am a mother too. I give you food and grains in abundance. My undying love is for all my creations. I gave you the gift of day and night, rainbow, flora and fauna, and beautiful and bright. May you all live life to the fullest and enjoy my grandeur. I want to see my creations flourish because I am Mother Nature. This is what I see from morning till evening all around. To maintain ecological balance, I have created 4 seasons: winter, spring, summers, and rains for cultivation. Every living being is created with gift of reproduction. Tiny insects, bigger animals, plants, humans, all are my children. Oh man, I made you the most intelligent of the species, but your ruthless plundering has pained me immensely. All creatures, all creatures, big or small, are born from my womb, but you are turning my vastness into a huge tomb. Your killing for sports and gruesome torture is uprooting the tree of evolution and painting a bleak future. Every time a species go extinct, I cry in utter grief. Stop this senseless ruining and give your mother relief. But if you unheed my pleas and disrupt environment, you will be responsible for floods, droughts, and extreme weather unpleasant. Disrupted environment will give you yesterday, but not today and tomorrow. There will be only repentance, grief, and sorrow. Thank you.
Such an honor to hear you speak, Suman ma'am. Such an honor.
Thank you, dear.
Such vibrancy, such liveliness, such a strong social message you have conveyed through your poem. And which is so relevant, especially that we have come out of this pandemic, not completely, but yes, we are nearly there. It is, yes, it is so relevant. It is so on the spot. It is so spot on to, bring in this message at this time. We need to respect nature. We need to share the abundance in a way.
I see the fruits growing, but even nature leaves 50% for birds.
Yes.
30% for 30% for the soil. Farmer gets only 20% because it is only his fair share.
Right.
Nature has given to all.
Nature has a portion, yes, automatically a portion.
Yes.
Justly, yes. Thank you so much for sharing. Would you like to say something else?
No, I mean, if you want, if there is time, I can say
a short one. If any other short poem you'd like to share.
Short, I don't know it is, but it's just my feelings for my friends. If I am, the title of my poem is If I Am.
Sure.
If I'm a wave, you are my ocean. And if I'm an idea, you are my emotion. If I'm an oyster, if I'm a flower, you are my fragrance. And if I am a mountain brook, you are my vibrance. Because there's so many brooks we see here. If I am a poem, you are my motivation. And if I am a thought, you are my creation.
Beautiful.
If I am wine, you are my intoxication.
Wow.
I'm an event, you are my celebration. If I am sky, you are my rainbow. And if I'm a star, you are my glow. If I am a heart, you are my heartbeat. If I am a jubilation, you are my treat.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What a treat it is to hear you.
Thank you. If I am a bird, you are my wings. And if I am the season, you are my spring. If I am a feeling, you are my desire. And if I am an uncut diamond, you are my emerald, ruby, and sapphire. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing one more.
Thank you. Love you all.
We are so much the happier for the second one that you shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such an honor.
Okay, love you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your love.
Thank you.
Yes, Shweta has been waiting patiently with a smile on her face. I love your smiling face, Shweta. I must tell you that. And Shweta's whole personality is exuded, and it comes out in her warm smile. You can feel it. She juggles multiple hats of being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, and and she brings a lot of character to anything that she takes up, like the woman with the Midas touch. So everything around the house, which has her imprint on it, is kind of grateful for her presence. So I welcome now Shweta to share her poetry with us.
Thank you, Shali. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for this loveliest introduction I've ever received. Thank you so much. Thank you, UBI, and thank you, Shyam Sundar sir, for having me here. UBI is always close to my heart, and whenever it comes to open mic sessions, I am always there because I actually want to express what I write. I write my feelings in words, but I'm a very expressive person, and I want that feeling to be seen by all, not read by all, but yes, seen by all as well. So My first poem is, in fact, both my poems are related to my mom. And though it, when it was in Hindi UBI, then also I narrated my poem on Ma. But I don't know, I don't need anything else to write on it. So it's about a conversation I had with my mother last month, and it's a true incident that happened. And so I thought to pen it down, and it is a viral story. It went viral on one platform. So I thought nothing would be no other poem would be better to narrate this one in front of everyone. And I've titled it as The Logical Ma. So it's here it goes. When I met my mom last month, she mentioned I look pale. When I met my mom last month, she mentioned I look pale. She was worried that I am ignoring myself, not taking care. I tried to wheel my emotions, but deep inside, yes, I was crying. I tried to wheel my emotions, but deep inside, yes, I was crying. Smilingly, I hugged her, saying, Ma, I'm absolutely fine. She refused to imbibe my lie. She embraced me in her warmth. She refused to imbibe my lie. She embraced me in her warmth. Don't be a version of me who always lived in qualms. Prioritize yourself. Mark your presence in others' lives. Prioritize yourself. Mark your presence in others' lives. Let everyone appreciate your sacrifices and accompany you in your hard times. Don't fight alone. Never hesitate to ask for help. Don't fight alone. Never hesitate to ask for help. To take care of others, you must relax and rest. I lived for others always, but I didn't receive what I deserved. She said, I lived for others always, but I didn't receive what I deserved. She firmly said, you are important too. Let everyone know what you expect in return. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, it brings out so vividly and so deeply.
Thank you so much. It's actually, yes, please. It is a real conversation with my mom when, yes, I was feeling low, and there is no other person who can understand you better. She can see pain in your eyes,
We can
and
see,
she
yes.
can know that you are faking a smile. So yes, uh, that is the day when I wrote this poem, and yes, she actually told me what should actually be done. So I thank my mom daily that yes, she pulled me up that day. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much, Shani. And there is one more poem dedicated to her only, not her, to every mom. So I didn't title it as any other, but then it says Ma. The moment your existence finds a home in her womb, she embraces this special gift sent directly from God. Ma. Her love is precious and intense. The instant she sees her child, her heart begins to expand. Ma, a word that drenches you in a zillion of emotions. She is the one who instills pure values to pave your life's path in the right direction. Ma, her love knows no boundaries. She is a place where spring always blooms with hope. Her words are potion for her child when in despair or wrapped in blues. Ma, she can hear your silence like no other. She can see pain in your eyes. She is your answer to every question. Ma, her lap is the most peaceful place one can ever find, where you can melt yourself with her, your feelings are entwined. Ma, if she caresses your face with her tender hands, your soul is satiated, it sprinkles warmth like a magical wand. Ma, her presence can make the atmosphere so pious. Her smile drifts away all worries. Everything feels rosier. Ma, her angel shades you from evils and situations gloomy. She confines you in her arms, turning harsh things into beauty. Ma, she won't ever judge you, but to your life, she adds that extra essence. With you, her heart forever stays connected despite the distance. Ma, she stands with you through thick and thin. will always be patient and won't give up if you don't win. Ma, she celebrates your smallest of accomplishments in life. She is hurt and cries with you when life brings time of strife. Ma, her hands may age, body may tire, but her efforts to pray for you or hold you will never expire. Ma cannot be compared to anything in the world. She is a splendid miracle, unmatched by Almighty's any other creation. Ma, her warmth is like the winter sun, is calm as the moonlight. She shines like the brightest star. She is the magnificent azure sky. Thank you so much.
This is so much true of you as well. As
Thank
a young
you.
mother, as
Yes,
a
I am a mother to a
mother,
60-year-old daughter, and yes, I could understand the meaning of being a mother when I embraced motherhood. That
yes.
is why I could write it so wholeheartedly.
Yes, the whole authenticity is just shining through your poem.
Thank you.
And even your voice lends a lot of fervor, a lot of strength to it. Thank you
Thank
so much for sharing.
Thank you so much,
Lovely
Shalini.
poems.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening to all again. I would take a moment of yours and I would like to introduce our wonderful host who's been giving us so nice compliments today. And she's being a great host, Shalini ma'am. Shalini ma'am has been a regular contributor to UBI. In November 2021, she won the top jury award for her fascinating and meaningful poetry. She is a lecturer turned life coach. Recently, she attended a coaching conference by Mind Valley in Tallinn, Estonia, where she gifted an epic poem of 2,222 lines. And she wrote this in a span of mere 6 days. She will be sharing some of her philosophy from that very poem. Over to you, Shalini ma'am.
Thank you, Shreya. I hope I do justice to this elevated introduction. Yes, I would like to give you a little background to this poetry, how it came about. There's an interesting story. So when I was doing this life coaching certification with Mind Valley, online certification, and I told my chief mentor, Ajit Navalkar, that in front of 500 people, I wanted to speak on Mind Valley stage. And he was a little taken aback by my courage, because I am like a wild card entry because nobody has seen me speak on Mind Valley stage ever. And though I've spoken on other stages. So he said, yeah, but there are world-class speakers speaking there and things like that. And so that world-class word stuck in my mind for a couple of days, So that whole little bit rejection part, I could have sulked for days and days, or I could convert it into creativity. So I could change it into something positive out of that rejection. So I said, okay, so let me see what is world class. I mean, people take months to write a book. So let me attempt writing a poetry book in mere 1 week. Let me try and attempting that. And I did that, So that is how this 2,222 lines came about. And this entire book of 100 pages, which I hand wrote in a journal and gave it to Ajit Navalkar. So there's only one copy which is in his possession. There's no other copy in print of this particular poem, but I'm going to read a few lines from there about poetry. Poetry is a scar. Poetry is the healing. Poetry is the jewel and the one that is also stealing. All that is prosaic and all that is plain, turning these into magical rain. Poetry teaches to love everyone, everything, dull or with bling. Love can never be quite overdone. Love is the elixir, love is the magic potion. When you have the words and the intentions are right, you can ease into the darkest of nights. Poetry teaches to hold on to things. Poetry exhorts to let go of flings. Poetry is that powerful wind that moves and shakes your sails, that has most likely your darndest worries pinned. Poetry is a rarest of rare of all our primal feelings, those that have been forgotten in this deep jungle of modern living. Poetry is visible in the whispering stars. Poetry is perennial sunlight in lovers' hours. Poetry is a whole. Poetry is so many parts. Poetry is symmetry marked and marked. Poetry is solitude. Poetry, beautiful company. Poetry makes for joyous symphony. So this actually was written in a lyrical form. So I'm kind of, just tapping to the beat. That was part of the whole Song of Life. That whole poetry is called, the epic poem is called The Song of Life. So it's a very, very long, continuous thing in which I talk about meditating, about poetry, about being childlike, and being present in the moment.
It's amazing, ma'am.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I read the number 2220. It was like, this is unimaginable. I don't know about word class, but what you did is unimaginable.
So I said, yes, I mean, I should not, be turned off by rejection. So every rejection is like you have to turn it into something creative, and you have to be ready to take a no and turn it into something positive. Okay. Maybe next year I speak there. Yeah. So do we ask Shamsar to wrap up the show? All right, then I pitch in. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful having you on the show today. Sumanji, Dr. Sujatha Chatterjee, Shreya, and Shweta. You are amazing, amazing, talented people. Yes, you must keep writing, keep sharing with the world. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you everyone.
It was so thank you everyone, and thank you Shalini for such wonderful words for us.
Yes.
Anything that you would like to say? I think we still have some time, so if we could just kind of ponder over and give our views on each other's poetry for more encouragement.
There's so much to learn from each one of you and each writer on various platforms, and it's so good to. That is why open mic sessions are so good, that we can have a conversation as well, and in person we can hear each other's poems, and it's wonderful. Dr. Sujatha, Shreya, Shalini, Suman, it was so good to be here on this show, and it was so beautiful. Well, I really thoroughly enjoyed this show today.
Same here. And it is the interaction between the authors which makes the show really a success. And of course, the poem recitation does matter, but the interaction with the host and with the author, it really makes the show a great one.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
Shalini, you are a wonderful host.
Yeah, thank you so much. Makes my day, makes my year.